Well, welcome everyone once again, and thank you for all the guests who have joined us this evening, taking the time to be with us. And all we're doing tonight is educating and sharing information. There's absolutely no pressure. I just want you to sit back and relax wherever you are around the globe and listen to some fascinating information from two of the most amazing women I've ever met in my life. The third person is actually, she got food poisoning actually on her way home from one of our trips. She was in the airport. So our hearts go out to her. She's an incredible woman as well. But tonight, we've got the Fab Three tonight. How about that? And first and foremost, I'd like to introduce an elite, a Pro 7, April Wagner. I met her about 11 months ago, and just an incredible individual. She's actually been in the network marketing industry, in this industry for over 25 years, and has earned over 11 million in lifetime earnings. And so truly, she is a mentor of mine, and hang on to every word she says about this industry that some of us may have some, what we call psychic damage about. I know I did. So I want you to listen carefully to her message tonight and her passion in teaching us about this industry. She has three incredible boys and is also a grandma. So she's got her hands full, and as she's driving, she's building an enormous business and has some incredible insights. So hang on to every word. Our next special guest tonight, I've known for years now, and she is an accomplished internal medicine doctor with a heavy emphasis in wellness, always trying to get to the root of our problems. She's went to University of North Carolina, and she is that right? University of North Carolina.
Yeah,
right?
I said go heels.
Oh, gotcha. And it served in our armed forces and the Air Force. And I never say thank you enough to you about that, Deb. I appreciate all your service, and just an incredible. She's continued to mentor me on the science, our profound science, and which is a major driver of our business, but also has helped me in terms of my own personal health and my own personal stories, so I can continue to have the energy and the strength to share the passion and the education of what we're doing right here, right now. And she's building an incredible business globally as well. So hang on to every word. She is fascinating and understands the science and the major driver of our business. So my name is Jill Pearson. My background is in corporate communications. I was with a corporation for 15 years. I made those boring training videos you used to watch probably in the 80s with that fun music. And then what we did is my husband was a gym guy, and we combined those skill set to form a corporate wellness program, a wellness program where we took executives and got them in the best shape of their lives in 84 days. And we ran that business, operated that business for 10 years until that 2009, when that recession, and I always call it it was a depression for our family. And we lost literally 3 six-figure contracts in a matter of 30 days. And I had 18 employees. I had a small staff in the office to help operate a business, a national business and a national program. And it brought me to my knees. But I think there was always a divine purpose, because, I prayed. We went up to Atlanta, Georgia, and a complete stranger shared an ABC primetime investigative report with us that literally has changed our lives, and literally thousands around the globe. And many of you are on this webinar tonight just because of that moment in time when someone shared that ABC primetime on a profound product, what is labeled as a dietary supplement that was literally a new paradigm in health. Now, when I heard about this, I wasn't too excited because I was literally, I had so much anxiety. I was having anxiety attacks. I had no income coming in. I had to compress my business. And the last thing I thought I wanted or needed in my life was a business of network marketing, right? And I got dragged to the meeting all the way across town, and on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, a vision was laid out of what our lives could look like literally in 22 to 36 months. And what I saw is I didn't see the science that Dr. Deb Viglione is going to share with you tonight, but I did see how we could profit in global sales, that that my business could profit in 4% of global sales. Now you got to remember that I was running the back end of our business, so I saw that clearly. But if we go back and if we go back in time and rewind, and what I want to share with each and every one of you tonight is there are 6 components to any business. So whether you may own your own business, if you're watching tonight and you own your own business, or maybe you're working for someone, these are some things that we all need to consider. And again, I'm not trying to convince you, but I'm trying to educate you on a solid business model and what it takes to have a solid business. So one of I break it down into 6 components, and that's pretty standard, is we have our company, our product, our timing, our trends, our comp plan, how we get paid, right? And a system, like how am I going to be able to do this? Do I see myself doing this business? And remember, this is just a vehicle to take you from A to Z. That's all it is. It's a vehicle. There's no magic to it. It's just, here is a business for a low barrier entry that you can enter and get paid a certain way through leveraged income, really, and literally change thousands around the globe. Now, in the beginning, I didn't get that. So tonight, what we're going to do, the ladies and I are going to go through these 6 components so you can go check, check, check. No, I don't see myself doing that. Or yes, I see myself doing that. Or the very least, this is a product, I'm telling you, that each and every one of you needs to be on, and everyone you love needs to be on. So with that, this company started, and I love this company story because I actually went through most of it and the growth of it. So in 2003, this is a publicly traded company, and it actually started off as a biotech company. And they came together and they created this product to try to generate some revenue for a nonprofit, to build revenue, just some additional income. The company went public. It was a penny stock, actually. And they started to study the science behind this dietary supplement called Protanum. And the studies were so profound that ABC Primetime investigative report actually did an investigative report to try to poke some holes in it, and they couldn't. And so that actually aired in 2005. And then, that commercial ran, the stock went up over to $22, but then it plummeted again because the commercial ran one time. And on the board of this publicly traded company, they had a bunch, like I always visualize, a bunch of doctors around a boardroom table, not having put a marketing strategy in place, a sales strategy to get the word out about this incredible dietary supplement that Dr. Deb Viglione is going to share with you in just a minute. So hang on. And then, they just couldn't get the word out. The company's tanking, literally. And this guy comes along and he says, hey, this needs to go network marketing. You need to share this by simply word of mouth marketing. The board members are like, no way, no way. Just like me, right? I didn't want anything to do with it. But as a last ditch effort, they literally flipped the switch and changed the model to word of mouth marketing, to direct sales, to network marketing. But remember, it's just a business model. I need you to think of it as a business model. From that moment on, once we put it in the hands of amazing leadership, people who were so passionate about this product that we're going to talk about in just a minute, sales went through the roof. They went from, I remember vividly, from 3 million in sales to 11 to 38 to 138 million to over 200 million in just 4 years. So we hit the road running. And think about this, you guys, when we started 9 years ago, this product was in the GNCs. It was in some places that sold other dietary supplements. But still, it was incredible. That story needed to be shared by word of mouth marketing. So then we go, Jill, I still don't understand. I don't, you're sitting on the other line going, what do you do, Jill? I don't understand. And I always like to share this piece of it before we move forward. So we've got the company component, right? You kind of see a clear vision on that. And part of our model is that we're network marketers. And you go, well, what is that? So I, Jill Pearson, represent a publicly traded company called LifeVantage, which is traded on the NASDAQ now. It's on the NASDAQ. And I represent this company. And what I always think I do is I build networks. Okay, I build a network. I lock arms with other folks like this on the phone right now, on this webinar, and I pipe through. I sell. You could say sell. You could say share. You could say educate. The most profound dietary supplement, I believe, on the planet through that network. All I have is about 10 customers, but I have a network of hundreds and thousands of folks around the globe, whether they're other distributors like myself or customers. So I don't sell pills necessarily. I do, but I don't, okay? I leverage a network. And within that network, I personally have about 10 customers. And I share this with amazing other folks like you, and I educate you on this business model where we leverage ourselves. So that is the basics of network marketing. Now you got to know, I'm going to put this other piece in here. I was with a corporation for 15 years, and I also owned my own business, right, for 10. What I found in this business model of network marketing, in this solid business model, is that it's kind of the best of breed. Think about it. LifeVantage Corporation takes care of all my moving parts that I had with my small business. They take care of my day-to-day accounting. They house my product. They open up new markets. They manage all my marketing, my legal, all those moving parts that were so difficult to run as a small business. Does that make sense? But I still have the freedom of my small business. And I still have the ability to literally generate unlimited income potential. I have that potential with this business model. So we go, okay, so we have that component of this company, right? And that business model is network marketing. Check, check. Well, why did my husband and I, we had a lot to lose. We owned a wellness company where we touched billion-dollar corporations. We worked with a lot of influencers throughout the Jacksonville, North Florida region. Why would we risk everything to go into this model we knew very little about? Because of the product. We knew that we had something special. And my husband, we were working with the Mayo Clinic at the time, and we said, how do we know that this is unique? That it's not another Me Too product. It's not another shake or a makeup. And we reached out to one of our doctor friends at Mayo Clinic. We were actually trying to work on a wellness program for the Mayo Clinic. And he said, if you go to pubmed.gov, that's PUB med.gov, which I had no clue what that was, for months, you're onto something. So I typed that product called Protandem. The company's not called Protandem. Our product is called Protandem into that search bar, and 2 studies came up. And that was profound. And they weren't an ingredient in that product. They were actually the product themselves. So Deb, I see you're on the phone right now. Can you share a little bit of information about our product? I know you love this. You love our flagship product, Protandem. Can you tell us why? And tell the audience and our distributor base who's on the line right now why they need to be so passionate and so driven. And that's what we were. We were just running with our hair on fire to spread the message and to educate everyone on this product.
Yeah, Jill, like you, I didn't really have a big, not like April, okay? I knew about network marketing, but my experiences with it had been negative to that point. Basically, just the way the companies ran or the marketing structure or the person that was trying to sell me something. Nobody wants to be sold something. So I had a negative attitude about the industry, but I was at the World Conference for Anti-Aging Regenerative Medicine. And the doctor that is not able to talk tonight, poor thing, due to food poisoning, was there also. And a mutual friend introduced us. And she was talking about this product and it was network marketing. And I thought she was crazy and everybody else that was in there because they were so passionate about something and it was network marketing. I'm like, you're doctors, why are you doing this? And I happened to go to the lecture that the chief science officer gave at the time. And I saw data different. I saw the ABC primetime much longer after I was already involved in the business, but I was introduced to the science, the graphs, the experimental methods, the things, the way they did the studies, and just literally got chills all over my body because
the studies on Protandem,
on Protandem, the NRF2, and at the time there were 11 peer-reviewed studies. You have, I believe, 26. That's huge for people. Nutritional products, for one, in this country are not very well studied because they won't let you do double-blind placebo-controlled studies in this country. And so most of the studies are done in other countries, which you always are a little skeptical about their methodology. But these are studies that were done with human tissue, with animals here in this country. And if it's made it to PubMed, then that's generally a credible study because it's very, very difficult to make it there to get something published. For instance, if you watch the ABC primetime, one version of it has Dr. McCord talking about studies are beginning on mice. Well, that was 2005. 2016, that study was released showing that we are the only nutritional product that has extended median lifespan in male mice. So huge. But look at how long it took to get that published. So that shows you where we were. So I saw this, and as an internist who's an anti-aging internist, we had been talking about oxidative stress, which we'll go into a little bit more, being the root cause of aging and disease. And when I saw that this product was proven to reduce that 40% in just 1 month in everyone that took it, I flipped out because I realized it was going to change the world. It was going to change my practice. It was going to change my life and everybody else I touched with it. It is that big. It was that big, and it's just getting bigger because the more that we learn, the more that I study, the more that the products that are trying to compete with us come out, the more I am so sold on what we have.
That's awesome. Now, can you rewind us back? So if I'm on this webinar tonight, I need you to take me back to the beginning of, can you take us to what is our dietary supplement? Can we start off with the nutrigenomics? Let's start off there and then we can kind of build upon that. What do you think, Deb? I
think that's great. Nutrigenomics is just basically using nutrition to alter the expression of your genes in a favorable fashion. You want, say you were dealt a deck of cards and some of them weren't so good, that you were predisposed to, say, maybe Alzheimer's or Parkinson's or any of the diseases out there, and you don't want to get them. So you want to be healthier, exercise, eat right, eat your greens, etc. That is nutrigenomics. And so what we have is a gene activator that does this so much more effectively and efficiently than anything on the market today. It's a paradigm shift. We're not just taking a vitamin like vitamin A or vitamin C. This is actually a gene activator. And nutrigenomics, it's huge. They're talking about it's going to reach 17, I think that was 17 billion. Okay, yeah, right there, that figure. But this is what's going on, folks. You may not realize it, but you're being hijacked if you're not doing something about it.
You mean eating properly and taking?
Absolutely. Yeah, but eating, as you're going to see, is really not enough. I mean, you'd really have to live in a bubble someplace so that you're not exposed to any of the toxins out there. Just in the years that I have been a physician, Jill, it's been amazing where there were chronic fatigue. I'm sorry, I put them in the house so they wouldn't. That's what I got left. Somebody get the dogs, please. They want to be fed. Oh, and then this one's deaf. She won't hush up. Let me, I don't know. Is it bothering you guys?
No, we're good.
All right. So anyway, the amount of people that have gotten sick from environmental causes, like it's back in the 90s, we had the Gulf War illness, fibromyalgia was surfacing, chronic fatigue syndrome. These are commonplace now, plus the number of neurodegenerative diseases. Diabetes is huge. Your bodies are being hijacked with the food industry, the chemical industry. I always get on the bandwagon with Roundup, which is glyphosate. It's horrible, and hopefully will be outlawed soon. But these toxins are entering our body whether we like it or not. And if you don't do something about it, you're going to end up in trouble later on. So, and the EMF, the cell phones, we are getting ready to go to 5 network. And there's some predictions that the weaker are going to fall out because that's radiation. It's different than the X-ray radiation, but it's radiation and it does harm to our bodies. So what we need to do is biohack. Okay, so you got to become a biohacker. Whether or not you join us as a business tonight, you need to start biohacking.
Love it, love it. Let's start off. So let's start off with that major driver. This is an award we just won for a package of products that we currently have, but it actually starts off with our main driver, our Protandem, our Nerve 2 activator that I need you to go over in detail.
Calling my daughter to get the dogs.
Did you get?
No, just keep talking and I'll get her as soon as she answers.
That's so funny. Usually we've got the dog over here, Deb. So we were just awarded this Stevie Bronze winner. So I want us to kind of start with this, but so to encapsulate, basically what we've done is we had major
barking. They're going to come get her. Okay. It's so bad. I can't tell her to be quiet because she went deaf a couple months ago. She's 13 and a half, folks. She's doing well.
Awesome. All right. So still, I think if I'm on a guest on the phone, I still don't understand our number one product is called Protandem Nerve 2.
You're outside or something.
I need you to go back, and I need you to go back and go, okay, we've got this product. It has 5 natural ingredients. And when they combine, when they work together, what do they do exactly? I need you to explain from the most basic level. Like when I talk about it, I say, hey, we have all these bad guys in our body, right, Deb?
Right.
And in the 90s, I used to eat those superfoods like onions and everything, thinking I was going to get rid of all those bad guys in my body. And then what I found when I discovered the science behind our major driver, Protandem Nerve 2, that it kills 1 million bad guys. And so it does that by combining those 5 ingredients. So I need you to take the audience, when those 5 ingredients combine, what happens? I need you to go from the most basic level. So we're getting rid of bad guys, basically.
We're getting rid of bad guys. Let's put the slide up of the Nerve 2. Okay, so when I talked to you about for being a gene activator, it's very different. If you see these ingredients at the bottom, and you take them each by themselves, they have great properties. Turmeric is very anti-inflammatory. Milk thistle is great for the liver. It helps detox. Green tea is also a good antioxidant detoxifier. Bacopa is amazing for the brain, and ashwagandha is good for the adrenals and kind of all your hormone system. So each one of those ingredients alone has wonderful properties. But this is the part where people have a difficulty understanding. And even me, I mean, somebody brought me a bottle of Protandim 2 years before I got involved, but didn't explain the synergy to me.
Yeah, can I just take turmeric and I have the same results, right, Deb?
No, you cannot do that. The synergy between them, they come together and they turn a switch on in your DNA, which then activates hundreds and hundreds of other reactions in the body. So when you said that you're knocking out a million bad guys, that's every second in every cell. Guys, this is huge. You can't even get close to that taking a vitamin or taking these extracts by themselves. And those are the graphs that I actually saw at the conference. I mean, it's not even close. So it's amazing. You know, you're doing something that nothing out there has done before or has been proven to do. We are the only studied, proven product to do that. That's why we extend, or well, it's one of the reasons we extend life. And all these other things were studied. They didn't extend life.
When we get rid of, 40% of the bad guys in 30 days, what does that mean for me? I mean, why does someone on this webinar need to know this and understand how profound this is and why we are so passionate tonight about the science? What does that do for them when they get rid of 40% of the bad guys?
Well, people may not feel it, Jill, because people don't necessarily feel the bad guys until they come down with the disease. Most people, my biggest complaints are I'm tired, I'm fat, and I've got brain fog. I don't think straight. Those are complaints. And that doesn't necessarily go away in 30 days. So a lot of people may not feel anything. Most people report that they feel better sleep and the energy, improves. For me, it was 2 months before I noticed much. And that was my arthritis symptoms going away. But the interesting part is some of the other studies have showed the longer you're on this, the better, because you're getting rid of the cellular damage over time. It may have taken you 20 years to come down with a disease or an illness. Well, you're not going to get, well overnight. You've got to heal yourself at a cellular level. But what
happens to me when I heal at a cellular level, then? What does that mean?
Your cells make up all your organs, and then your organs function as systems. So when you repair unhealthy cells, then you have healthy organs, you have healthy tissues, you have healthy systems. So your body's running like it was designed to run. In fact, I always tell people, take a picture of yourself when you take this, because you're going to look very different a year from now. And usually you look much better, much healthier, younger. Some people may not notice much, but I tell them, do a journal on yourself, to write down everything you can think of right now, because 6 months from now, a year from now, you're going to see that a lot of things have changed, even though you may not notice it, little by little. But one of the things, some of the studies, if you guys have heard of glutathione, that's a master antioxidant and detoxifier. That's upregulated up 300% at 4 months. That's huge. People are always trying to raise their glutathione. This does it better than anything else out there.
Right. Hey, now, April, from a business perspective, have you ever seen anything or worked with a product like this in your life? I mean, I know you've been in this industry years. What has this product meant to your business?
This product makes it very easy to share. It's just about sharing knowledge. It's not even about selling. It's just about sharing the knowledge of the product. And people get so excited. I mean, when I originally heard anti-aging, I didn't need any more after that. I didn't need to know about glutathione or anything else. It was just like, that's what I want. That's what people want. So we have what everybody wants, and it's so different from anything else they can get out there. I can remember one of the first times I was explaining this product, people were just coming towards me because it was so different than anything else out there. Nothing like having an exclusive product that's just off the charts great.
Awesome. Now, Deb, if we move on, we call Protandim an activator now, right? We don't take
Right, it's
antioxidants.
activated.
And now we have another activator, right? Do you need to go over any of these studies right here, Deb?
No, I just, guys, take a look at this. This is unheard of. You won't find any other branded nutritional supplement with this kind of research and backing. I mean, it's absolutely huge. And it took years to do this. So it's impressive.
And the patent, same thing, Deb, same kind of concept?
Right. It's heavily patented, which, we can go into from a business standpoint. That's huge. Nobody can steal this from us. And we have this for years to come.
And I think my husband always says, how do you patent turmeric? How do you patent food, Deb? And that's what's so unique is that
it's the synergy. Yes, it took about 3 studies to prove to the FDA and the patent people that it actually does something different and that they could put a patent on it. There's a lot of nutritional supplements. You'll look and they'll say patent pending. Well, they never get their patent because there's nothing special. You have to have something special, something unique, that could be duplicated if somebody stole your formula, but you're protecting your formula. It's a big deal.
We have this packet now. I mentioned at the beginning, it won an award when the dog was barking. We kind of brought this up a little bit. And then, but no, it's fine. In this is another activator. And you are really passionate about, this one is called Nerf One. And so can you explain this new activator for us and what it does? And you are really passionate. And I think this activator has really changed my life, Deb, as well.
Right. I'm probably more excited about this than I am the other one. I love Protandim NRF2. And guys, NRF2 has to do with the pathway it activates, and NRF1 has to do with the pathway. But NRF2 was discovered first or invented first. NRF2 or 1 came second. And it's funny because you take 2 of one and 1 of the other. Everything's opposite. But this is relatively new. It's only been out for 2 years, and the university studies are ongoing now. And I told you before how long those take, but we do have preliminary data that shows that this does exactly what we're going to tell you it does tonight. But to run all of these processes in your body, that takes energy. And energy is made predominantly in these organelles called mitochondria, and they're in all of our cells except for red blood cells. And so we need healthy mitochondria to make the energy we need to function, to metabolize our food, to make energy, to go to the bathroom, to eliminate, to think. I mean, our brain actually has most of the mitochondria in our body. So you really need good mitochondria to function. That's why as we get older, we have more fatigue. One of the reasons that we get fatter because our metabolism slows down and the brain fog comes in because our brain isn't working well. And at our conferences now where they were focusing big time on oxidative stress, they're still doing that, but they're focusing on mitochondrial function because they've realized that bad mitochondria, dysfunctional mitochondria are the primary reason of cancer formation. And we have a cancer epidemic out there. And so we need more healthy mitochondria and we want to keep them healthy because the last thing we want to do is get a disease or get cancer. So when I saw this, I thought, oh my God, we've got the 1-2 punch here because to get the Protandim NRF2 gets a lot of the bad guys out of the body, but guess what? That takes energy to do it. So if you don't have adequate energy, then you can have some problems. And we did see that when we just had the NRF2. A good word for that is called a healing crisis, that when the body starts to repair, it's a lot different than taking a drug. A drug, you say, okay, if it's for your blood pressure, you expect your blood pressure to go down in the next few days. Well, when you do something to help your body heal, it takes longer and the body has to get rid of bad guys. Well, getting rid of bad guys sometimes causes symptoms like headaches, more fatigue, or maybe more joint pain, exacerbation of the symptoms you're trying to get rid of. And in natural medicine, we look at that as a healing is an expected result of healing. And when we see that, we're actually encouraged that we're on the right path because when things get a little bit worse, we know we're getting rid of the junk. But by having the extra mitochondrial function, it's just changed everything because I don't see those detox reactions near as much and they're not as severe because I'm giving the body the energy to bag up that trash, put it in the trash can and roll it out to the curb. where the truck can come pick it up. And so it's wonderful. And I've told the inventor of this, Dr. Fifi, that she's probably got a bigger invention ultimately when the studies are done than what the protandim NRF2 is.
Wow.
How strongly I feel about it.
And that's a big deal. That is a big deal. Now, in addition, what I love about this is there's a couple other additional pieces. They call it the core 4 now. And we have in here our probiotic is in this as well. And, there's a lot of talk about probiotic on the television and the news. Everybody wants to be on their probiotic and get their probiotic. Why is this different? Why is it better? Is it a major driver for our business as well? And then we have our fish oil too. So can we go ahead and go over both of those real quick? Because we're getting tired.
Right. Sometimes a probiotic is kind of a hard sell. Obviously doing what I've done, I've been teaching people to take probiotics for over 30 years. Guess where mine was? It was always in the refrigerator, and I would forget to take, and then pretty soon it'd go bad, and I wasn't good about it either. That is one of the biggest advantages about ours, is it's stable at room temperature. So you can take it in your purse, you can have it with you. There's no excuse to not take it. So then that to me was number one. Okay, that's an advantage. If you just look at the label on it though, you wouldn't think it was anything special. Yes, it's got the core bacteria that our body needs, but it's only 6 billion. And we were taught minimum of 20 billion, and the higher the better. Like, I have some probiotics that are 900 billion. Why is that? That's because the stomach acid destroys them. And if you talk to, I'd say probably 90% of the probiotics out there, is just a numbers game. They throw more of it in there, hoping that some of it's going to make it to where it needs to go. And you've probably seen, oh gosh, what is the thing that the industry, there's a magazine that compares different products, and they've studied them, and they said, by the time the thing leaves the factory, it's unpredictable. There aren't very many surviving bacteria. And that's why I think the results have been so mixed with probiotics. So when this came out, and I'll tell you more about it, I really wasn't expecting too much. I bought a few bottles and had some patients try it. It was unbelievable. People came back in and said, my God, I've had the best bowel movement I've had in 10 years. Or the diarrhea that I had for years is gone. The constipation I had for years was gone. My stomach's no longer bloating. And this happened relatively fast. I was blown away by it. So then I started looking, okay, what else is different? Well, it has delayed release technology. So those little boogers get where they need to go. That patented technology delivers them down into the small and the large intestine, the right bacteria at the right place. And that makes a big difference. And then the icing on the cake is they added Wellmune, which enhances our immune system. And guys, your gut is your first line of defense, that and your nose and your lungs, against the bacteria, the fungus, the viruses that are coming into your system, and the toxins. And so when you activate your immune system, the white cells in your intestine, then you are more resistant to all the bad guys that are trying to get into your body. And that's the tight junctions that we're talking about. You want those things tight. You want a barrier between your gut and all these bad things. And that's one thing why I hate Roundup, because it blows those apart. So anyway, they're saying now the gut is the second brain. We have an unheard of amount of diseases, Alzheimer's and neurodegenerative diseases now. And that's because the blood-brain barrier is busting apart too. And they're connected. And so when you get a healthy gut, you tend to have a healthy brain. So you've got to keep that in mind. And I literally believe everybody should be on a probiotic, whether you think you have problems or not. Keep it healthy.
Absolutely. I know, mine was destroyed over years of taking a lot of antibiotics. So it's been.
And I found that it heals faster. I check people's poop. And so I see what's going on. And actually, I sent it off to the lab. I don't look at it myself, although patients try to bring me stuff to look at, and I'm, nah, it's okay. I don't want to see it. But anyway.
Tell me about that, the fish oil too.
Okay, the fish oil, you guys have probably been hearing more about it. In fact, I heard on the radio today them talking about we do not get enough omega-3s in our diet, and the average American doesn't. Most people don't eat salmon every day, and we need good quality omega-3s. What has been so interesting, Jill, is the more that we've studied that, the more we realize you can't just go buy an omega-3. They vary vastly between the quality, what's in them that you don't want. You've got to make sure that, because they're coming from the sea. So, you know, in large part, they're from fish oil. So there's toxic things out in our oceans, you know, mercury for one. So you have to make sure you get an omega-3 that is pure, doesn't have the heavy metals in it. And also one of the things that's been happening, they found out, is, you know how oil or butter can go rancid? Same thing with these. If there aren't substances in there to protect them from oxidation or going rancid, then you're actually harming your body to take them. And so it's really important that you have a quality omega-3. This one's interesting. We can actually trace it back to the boat and the fish that it came from. It's amazingly pure, and it's not fishy. It actually tastes like citrus. So none of that burping up. And I do have a patient who burps it, but she goes, hey, I'm burping up citrus. I can deal with that. I just don't want to burp up fish. But it's very, very pure. It also has omega-7s. And those are kind of coming to the forefront because they seem to be helpful also in protecting the cardiovascular system and helping you maintain a healthy weight. It's rich in both EPA and DHA. They're about a little more DHA than EPA, but they're pretty close. And our company chose to do that because we are a biohacking company and the brain runs the body. DHA is so important for the brain that with the Protandim, the other products, we're decreasing inflammation and helping the heart that way, that they felt it was important to put it a little stronger in the DHA. And they added a little vitamin D to help us out. It's not going to be enough for most people to take on a daily basis to get them to the therapeutic levels, but it's helpful.
Well, you know, a lot of times I get pushback about the price, you know, of these, you know, because it's core 4, right? We need all 4 of them in our,
right.
We don't need much more for optimal health. But do you get that objection? Is it expensive?
I do, but I point out, what's the cost of your health to you? Where where's your priorities? Because a disease is pretty doggone expensive. If you've seen the cost of drugs these days, you know, plus it's cost, you know, if you're sick, you have to get on disability, you can't work at your job. I mean, that's costly too. So, I mean, I look at it and they're very, very reasonably priced. And for what you're getting, it's a huge bargain because those activators are millions of times stronger than any supplement you're going to find out there. And it's a very, very good price. When you buy it as a stack, you get a discount, you get free shipping. And omega-3s by themselves typically are around $50 a bottle or more. I mean, if you get a quality one, like if you find a supplement that's generally $20 or less, I probably wouldn't take it. Vitamin D is an exception. That's not very expensive, but yeah, you know, the cheaper it goes, typically the less reliable it is, or, you know, might have some bad things in it. I don't know. You want to get quality stuff and you want to know where you're getting it. And I always tell people, I said, don't ever buy anything on Amazon that you would put in your body. You have no idea who's selling it, where it's coming from, how old it is. You know, I think, Jill, it was about 5 or 6 years ago, they talked about China lacing all their supplements with lead. And then we were getting lead poisoning. Actually, I think it's been longer than that because I was taking one of them.
That's a great reminder because some of these products do slip through Amazon, and I think it's really important to know that you go to lifevantage.com or the person who invited you to this webinar, because we don't know where the product's been because it's not coming direct from LifeVantage. Isn't that correct, April?
That is absolutely true. You're really putting your health at risk by going through Amazon because you have no idea where that product's been or what it's gone through.
I've heard several stories of people that brought their bottles to a meeting and said, hey, look, I bought this on Amazon. They opened it up and it wasn't Protandim inside the bottle. That's pretty scary.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now we have other product lines to meet the lifestyle of a biohacker, basically. Deb, you want to just briefly go over it? I think I love everything on that screen right there. Our whole family uses everything, and literally our dog too.
Okay, well, my favorite, I guess, out of this is I can't pick a favorite. Science, the True Science skincare regimen. Guys, when we talked about patents, this is the only patented skincare. It is difficult to get a patent because you have to prove you do something different. This actually, again, at the cellular level, treats aging of the skin. Not only we see a visible improvements, we have studies that show what this does. Now, I'm brutal in my skin. I don't know if you guys can tell, but we just got that from, and I just brutalized my skin. I'm practically lathering myself in this stuff now to undo what I did. But I don't know that I would have done that had I not known we had a product that could help reverse what I just did to myself. But it's absolutely amazing. You know, and I told you before, I have people take a picture of themselves. On the protein alone, they change. But when you add this, it's very fast. And I love it. The next one here is the pet tan. My 13-year-old dog that was barking, she wanted to eat. And I wouldn't take her out now, but you know, this winter time, because it's too cold or too hot here in Florida, but she drags me running for a good half mile before she slows down. And we go 3 miles. I mean, she's 13 and a half. That's a big deal. And she's on the pet tandem. My other little dog just got practically eaten by a coyote. And we put her on 2 a day through this thing. And she's actually recovered now. She's an absolute miracle. And I don't think she would have survived had it not been for pet tandem, because part of that gave her the energy to fight off the coyote. It's almost unheard of to get away from one. And she must have fought that guy really hard. The Acto is a brain energy. Guys, your brain runs your body. It tells it what to do. And it's a synergy. It activates the brain. I didn't think I needed this, but I'll tell you what, at least in what I do, and I suppose you guys do, get that late afternoon kind of mental fatigue. Oh man, I just want to go home. I want to do something else. Drink one of these and man, you're sharp again about 20 minutes later. It's amazing. And I do remember one statistic, Jill. I think at the energy drink industry is about a $50 billion industry now. And people are drinking ones that are unhealthy because they've been talking about taking them off the market, right? Because of some children that have had some adverse effects to it. You know, so this is all natural, healthy, nothing harmful in it, and, you know, and very safe for children. So you know, we got another win there. And then we have our great weight management system, the Physique. There's your protein drink, Jill. But you can see the probiotic that we talked about is in there. Well, you can't maintain a healthy weight without a healthy gut. So that's the most important part of that. We have a cleanse that helps get rid of extra things that you don't need to carry around. And the fat burn to me is just amazing. I've been on it for about 6 months and lost 6% body fat.
Wow.
I fell off of it. I don't know why, forgot to take it, whatever. The body fat started coming back on and I'm like, I'm back on it, but I love it. And it really does help reduce that sub-Q fat, but also that visceral fat that you want to get rid of.
Love it. Love it. And these are all major drivers of, and these products pipe through our networks. April, can you share a little bit more about, I'm trying to move the slide, sorry. Go to slide. You know, tell us about, let's go back to the business side of this. You know, we have incredible products that we get to build our business with, but you go, Jill, you know, you just told me you've been in this business 9 years. You know, have I missed the boat on this? You know, and April has been in this network marketing industry for over 25 years now. And she inspires me with her energy every time I talk to her. Could you talk a little bit about the timing, and timing just not for network marketing? This is timing in any business model. And we think this is unique to network marketing, but tell us about where you see our company and your perspective, because you're fairly new with our company, and where you see us going. And I get so excited when you start sharing things like this.
Oh, thanks. No, thanks. Yeah. You know, we're super excited. We do have some advantages that Bobby and I see that, you know, maybe somebody like yourself that has been with the company for 9 years, or even somebody that has been with the company for 6 or 7 years. You know, when you look at those early adapters or innovators, when people are doing a ground floor opportunity, and you hear that a lot, ground floor opportunity, well, that really is not where you want to be. That's where maybe they have one product, they don't have any patents, they don't have any peer review studies going on, they don't have any testimonies from the products. I mean, just 11 months in, we have, you know, just so many testimonies, results that people have gotten on the products, and they haven't seen anybody make any money. You know, you're a Pro 10, top of the program. You know, now you can have people chasing, but when you're first, there's nobody chasing anybody because nobody's done it, so nobody can believe it. Our company is just so set up for the way that we are able to just share this product word of mouth. This is what gets people excited. You think about what's going on with business trends these days, Amazon. People want to deal with people they know. They want to do one click. They want to go online. They just want to know what's at their door. We have all that going on. But, then you have the early adapters. Like I said, they don't have all the tools that we have. Bobby and I are so thrilled that we got involved with the timing that we've gotten involved. 9 years later, it's been 11 months for us. There's tons of testimonies, tons of people making money. It is really easy to share the product with people because there's a lot of information, a lot of stuff that goes before it that you could just share. Our whole business is really just about sharing information and telling stories. And you wait a few years and the stories are there. And we really are at that very early, they use, majority or momentum. We are there at the very, very beginning. So what goes on for the next couple of years is crazy. This is the real time that you want to be in. Once you get up to, the late majority, they call it, and, or stabilization, all the different S-curves have different names and stuff that they use these days. But, once you get up there, Amway is one of the classic examples. They've been in business. They certainly are the grandfather of the industry. But, they do $3 billion in sales every year. And so what goes on is, 100 billion stay, or I should say people joining, 100 billion stay, and 100, it's actually million, 100 million stay, 100 million go, and 100 million come. But it always stays the same. It's very stable. And that's what they mean by stabilization. We're here, we're getting in, and your organization, in just the last 11 months, we've put on over 1,000 customers. That's not even distributors. In our organization, over 1,000 customers. I mean, that's where the growth is because we have those stories, because we have the science behind it. Our whole industry is just booming at this point. We have an industry that's about $189 billion these days. So, when you think about that as an industry, I know a lot of times Gabe will use the analogy of football. Football's on Monday night, especially if you're a woman. It's on Monday night, now it's on Thursday night, now it's on, not Saturday it's college, but Sunday is, the NFL. The NFL is probably, and I've heard different statistics, I think he says it's, about 70 billion. Well, just in the last, I think it's the last 5 years, we've grown half of that. We've grown about 31 billion. So we are really, really growing as an industry. There is now the term professional network marketers out there because, get this, more millionaires come from our industry than any other industry out there. More money is made and able to make in a great shorter time. And that's what got us excited right from the get-go. Our first year, we made 110,000. We made 115 million over our career, and we're just so excited with LifeVantage.
That's awesome. Awesome story. Just as a reminder, we do not make any claims about our dietary supplement that we do not treat, cure, or mitigate anything. Isn't that right, Deb?
Yep.
Make sure we put that in there. But also I want you to think about what we've gone over so far. We've got our company is stable with incredible leadership, hundreds of years of experience in network marketing. We're expanding globally. We're unlocking Europe right now, unlocking Asia. When we got started, we were in one country. And how many countries are we in now, April?
I think 17. I mean, some as consumers, but some certainly doing multi-level. It's very exciting.
Yeah, so we've got our company. We're a solid business model. The way we get paid at LifeVantage creates a solid business model for us all. Our major driver is our product line with our activators, and we're biohacking the aging code through nutrigenomics. Our timing is impeccable. Just look at the graph and where we sit right now. And in terms of trends, I told the gals, I said, I'm not big on trends and, all that economics. But one thing I do tell my kids, and this is more of a story, and when we owned our wellness company, I had a CEO of $1 billion company say, Jill and Gabe, you guys need to figure out how to do something one time and get paid over and over and over again. For me, he said, I sell a Band-Aid one time and then I have those repeat sales, right? So when the economy hit in 2009, we were actually had an online program where I was trying to shift our business model to capitalize on more of a residual or leveraged income where we can make some additional income with one set of programming and leverage our time. And I didn't quite unlock it. It takes lots and lots of money to do that. And we were starting to unravel when the economy hit. So I teach my kids every day. I go, whatever you're doing, my daughter just went off to Florida State University just about a month ago. And I say, whatever you do, figure out this leveraged income piece, how to build an asset or residual income, figure out how to do that coming out of the gates. Now, LifeVantage may not be for you or those folks on the line today, but think about this, that unlike my business, which I spent, $50,000 a month in payroll and couldn't figure out how to unlock and create a big business and leverage what we had because I didn't have the cash. With this business model, it's a low barrier entry. Think about it. We don't have the pack up there now, but for $300, 350, 650, or 1,250, you can create a business with potentially unlimited income potential. Change people's lives through their health with some of the most amazing products on the planet and help them with their finances. So if we think about trends, think about this, what about the baby boomers? Do we all have enough money to retire? What is the industry changing? Like, think about Uber, think about Amazon, think about how they connect through apps, right? Through creating a network. Think about, what if you could get paid on every Uber driver? If you introduce, say, hey, you should be an Uber driver, and then you got paid off them, and then they introduced an Uber driver and you got paid off them. Those are what they call like side hustles, right? But this could be a side hustle, or this is big time, can potentially be big time money. And we just want to meet you where you are. Maybe the product is just all you need. Or maybe you're looking for some additional income for retirement, or to send your daughter or your son to college, or to get out of some debt, or to generate what I wanted, right? That residual, or in this case, it's leveraged income. And this is just a vehicle. Remember, we're just sharing a vehicle that could literally change your life. April, do you have anything to add to that piece of that? Because I know you're so passionate about this industry.
Oh, I love it. I love it today. Very simply, because I can work when I want, where I want, and with who I want. And that gives me a lot of versatility in my life. And, I can take care of my family, and I can have a huge business that is global and make as much money as I care to. So this is the only industry for us.
That's awesome.
April, I've completely changed my viewpoint on network marketing because I too went with what you went through, Jill, in 2008, and a divorce. I look back and I don't even know how I stayed alive in my practice, and everybody sees all these doctors joining hospitals. I mean, trying to remain independent is difficult, and I don't want somebody telling me what to do. I don't want them telling me what hours I'm going to work and how I'm going to practice medicine and how many people I'm going to see. And I'm looking at this as a vehicle to get my practice out of debt, to give me the retirement, and allow me to carve the practice where I can help more people, using tools like Zoom and, and Facebook, and to bring some education to other doctors. I mean, it's a huge opportunity to really make an impact. As Jill says, connect and make an impact. And this network marketing is a wonderful way to do it.
Love it. Love it. So we have all the components of an incredible business model. We've gone a little bit long. We're all so passionate about what we do. You all have an amazing night. For more details, this is just, again, a drip of information just to pique your interest, or to go, this isn't for me, or it is for me. Let me hear more information. Get with the folks that invited you here tonight. They thought enough of you. Really, this is truly a gift for each and every one of you on this line today. Thank you to our special guests. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And all the guests on the line and all the distributor families. Take care. Love you all. And we'll see you next Monday night. Take care, everyone. Let's go connect and make an impact. Thank you.